Okay, this is assignment 3 for sport and exercise psychology, and it's group dynamics in sports environments. So we're covering learning outcome 3, which is know the psychology of group dynamics in a sports environment, and then you've got to identify 4 different factors which contribute to the psychology of group dynamics, and then explain 4 different factors which contribute to the psychology of group dynamics. If we go inside, well, I'll kind of explain what's the expectation. So it's a presentation that's delivered in pairs, and you're required to produce and deliver this presentation. If you follow the scenario, it says to the academy directors, is actually to me. So you've got to identify 4 different factors which contribute to the psychology of group dynamics. Here are some of them. So you could pick 4 of these. So you might go, right, I want to pick stages of group development. I want to pick cohesion. I want to pick leadership qualities, and I want to pick the group effectiveness, Ringelmann, and social loafing. All right, so this is what you have to do to get your merit, and I'm guessing most of you will go for the merit, if not all of you, for a specific team, sports team. So think about who you're going to do as a pair. So for me, I might think about Dursley Town, who I play for on the weekend. So I think about that team, and I'd explain the 4 factors that I've chosen that may contribute to the group dynamics and performance of that team. So if I'm looking at Dursley Town, I might think about the stages of the group development. So what I'd say happened to Dursley is at the start of the year, if we're going to explain these stages, at the start of the year, there wasn't really enough players for this team, for the third team. So the forming stage went on for a lot longer because actually we were kind of feeding players up into the seconds and firsts, and so there was never really a solid team that played for the thirds. So we went through that forming stage for quite a while, and then what happened is, because we couldn't field a team, we got docked points. So we got docked 12 points, so we were on minus 12 points. And then finally someone came in and took over and said, right, okay, I'm going to manage it properly. And when that happened, again, we were still stuck in that forming stage because there was a new manager who was trying to form a new team. We got through that stage and we picked up a couple of points. And then what's happening now is we're in the storming stage. So we're stuck in this storming stage, or we kind of just coming out of it, actually. So we're in this storming stage, we're arguing, we recognise we're on minus points and we want to get out of that position. We know we're good enough to be higher up the league, and people are becoming disillusioned with where the team is. And now currently I'd say we're starting to get to the norming stage. So actually we're on 7 points now. So in theory we're on 19, which would bring us out of the relegation zone, but actually we're on 7. But team is recognising that, look, we need to work together, get these points and get ourselves out of this situation and then push on next season. And that's where we're at. And how's this had an impact? Well, it hasn't had, this process has been lots of negative things has had lots of negative impact on the team throughout the year, obviously because of the points, because of the differences that or the new individuals that have come into the team and tried to take a lead. However, it's starting to have a positive impact, and maybe moving forward it could have a real positive impact because people can draw on those experiences that they've had this year and reflect on them and think about actually how we're going to move forward next year. So potentially long term it could have a positive impact, but actually, at the start of the season it was quite negative, but we're coming out of that now and it's having a positive impact. So there's one thing I've done. I then have to go on and I talk about another one of these things. So I might want to talk about the team cohesion now, and I go through the same process that I've just done. So what is the team cohesion? Is it task social? Where are the team at in terms of the cohesion? Is there a bit of task and social? Do people get on? Is there certain clicky groups? How does that affect the team? So that's the kind of expectation that you have to look at. So pick 4, apply it to your team, and then talk about the impact it's had on that team. Hope that makes sense.